Fantasy football fam, what's going on? This is Fantasy Football AF, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Tavour, for hooking us up with some awesome craft beer. And if you guys want craft beer from Tavour, go to Tavour.com. Use that promo code ChatSports for $10 off your very first purchase. Y'all ready? Let's send it. These are three players that could potentially be traded that have a massive impact on fantasy football. The first one, are the Raiders going to trade Amari Cooper? Interesting, right? So Jay Glazer came out and said that the Raiders are shopping Cooper. John Gruden did deny the report, but after last week, I'll tell you what, if anybody likes roller coasters, y'all should name your roller coaster on Roller Coaster Tycoon Amari Cooper, because it's been up and down the entire season. This is a guy who I loved when he came out of Alabama, right? Fourth overall pick in the 2015 NFL draft, and he just hasn't been all that great this year. He's had trouble with drops, but he is one of only 3 wide receivers in his first 2 years that have over 70 catches and over 1,000 yards. Like, when I watch Amari, I see talent. I really do. But for some reason, he's not connecting it together with the Raiders. So maybe he's better off going somewhere else. Maybe Amari's better off going somewhere else. Because when you look at his numbers, when you look at Amari Cooper's numbers for his first few years in the league, you're like, damn, this guy's actually pretty good. So I want to know from you guys, is Amari Cooper a good wide receiver? Give me a thumbs up for yes, or a mad face for no. For me, I do think Amari is a good receiver. I just, for some reason, don't think he's in the right system. I don't think he has the right quarterback. I think Derek Carr, since he's gotten injured in 2016, hasn't looked the same. Maybe if Amari can go to a team that can actually use him the way that I think he could be used, maybe he could be a top 20 wide receiver again. So, is Amari Cooper a good wide receiver? Thumbs up for yes, or a mad face for no. Let's hop in now to my next trade. It's Bills. Are they going to trade LeSean McCoy? So, the Bills apparently want a second and a third round pick for McCoy, and he is under contract until 2019. The reason why I think the Bills could actually do it, let's be real. Bills Mafia, sorry guys, you aren't contenders this year. And the fact that now Josh Allen's hurt, the fact that, you got some other options there at quarterback, it's ugly. And the fact that you can maybe actually get something for LeSean McCoy, who isn't quite what Shady used to be. And I hope I'm not shady for saying this, but I still think he's an okay running back. And if he can go to a team, go to a contender who could use him, maybe like the Eagles, who have a lot of injuries. Heck, maybe if Dalvin Cook's banged up, maybe if Leonard Fournette's banged up, maybe you can go to a team where you can get more carries. LeSean McCoy could be an interesting guy. The trade deadline only 2 weeks away. So, if I told you guys right now, where would you want LeSean McCoy to go? Let's say you have LeSean McCoy on your team. You're disappointed with him in Buffalo. Where would you want LeSean McCoy to go? Please comment below. The last trade I got coming up for you guys, are the Lions going to trade Golden Tate? So this is the last year of his contract, and they could let him walk. But I don't know if they're going to do that, just because now I love me some Kenny Golladay. I really do. And Kenny Golladay has totally emerged as, I think, one of the better wide receivers, one of the better young wide receivers in the NFL for a guy who didn't really have a lot coming out when he was drafted. When you're talking about Golden Tate, though, he's an absolute PPR monster. In 2018, 33 catches, 431 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think he's kind of taken over. I still think he is the main receiver for that offense, but if he can go to another offense, heck, I'll be honest, if Golden Tate went to like the Pats or something like that, I would absolutely love that, first off. But I still do not think that it's going to happen ultimately. But if he ends up getting traded in the next 2 weeks, for a lot of people who have Golden Tate, it's going to change a lot of things. It really will, because I mean, this is his 9th year. He's one of those guys who you can count on just about every week to at least get like 6 or 7 in a PPR league. So I think ultimately when you're looking at that, hey, Golden Tate goes somewhere else. Maybe he could be a top 20 receiver again. Here's some other players who could be traded if you don't have a guy like Golden Tate. Devontae Parker, man. This is one of those guys, if you want to make somebody in Madden, you're going to make him look like Devontae Parker. It's just unfortunately, he's just not very good in real-life NFL football. Tyrod Taylor. The Browns don't need him. Imagine how funny it would be to see him go back to the Bills. And then Amir Abdullah hype train. I'm kind of over it. Maybe he can go somewhere where he could be relevant again. Speaking of being relevant again, I got a question from you guys. I got another master debater, and it's an interesting one. Is Pluto a planet? So I'm a big fan of Rick and Morty, and I think it is because Jerry Smith says it is. So is Pluto a planet? Give me a heart for yes or a wow face for no, because guess what? I think Pluto is 100% a planet. Shout out to Tavour, and if you guys want to go to Tavour.com, use promo code ChatSports for $10 off your very first purchase. I'll see you guys next week, Fantasy Football fam. Cheers.